The weather has begun to take a turn for the better here in the UK. It's slowly beginning to look like we'll get some sun. But being the UK, it'll probably last for about half an hour, then it'll rain, then half an hour after that, it'll be sunny again. Well, there's a chair for that. In fact, I'm sitting on it right now, the M6 from AutoFull. I've looked at a chair with built-in cooling in the past. This one has that too, and it's got heating. Let's see how well it has handled Britain's typically unpredictable weather over the past couple of weeks. Hi guys, I'm Matt and welcome to Kit Guru. So the chair I'm reviewing today is the advanced edition of the M6 from AutoFull, but it's also available in two other variants. There's the standard and then the premium versions, which they drop a few of the features found on this advanced version. The advanced one has a built-in footrest and then seat ventilation and heating like I mentioned. The premium one drops the heating and the ventilation and keeps the footrest, and then the standard one finally loses the footrest and the heating and the ventilation, so it's just a standard run-of-the-mill chair. Pricing on the advanced version, when it's at full price, is 800 quid. It's currently on sale for 700 quid or 699.99, and there's a discount code on their website that takes it down to 649.99. So aside from that absolutely crazy Kinnell's leather recliner that I looked at a while ago, which we'll leave a link somewhere if you want to go and check that out, that makes this the most expensive gaming chair I've ever looked at for Kit Guru. The standout feature has to be the built-in heating and cooling system in the seat base, but with a price that's as high as it is, it's going to have to deliver quality in every area, not just by being able to cool down your behind. There's no room for compromise. Before we dive into the run-of-the-mill standard chair stuff then, let's talk about what sets the M6 Advanced Edition apart from the competition and probably the reason that you clicked on this video. It's got built-in fans and heating elements for either cooling or warming your backside. I'll admit that when I first looked at this chair online while I was waiting for it to be delivered from AutoFull to me, I thought it was going to be a bit of a gimmick. Well, I was completely wrong. It works exceptionally well, albeit a tad loud when you turn the fans up to level 3. There's a USB connection coming out the back of the chair, which is to connect it to a power bank, which can then be stowed away in a pocket on the back. Then there's a pair of small buttons on the right hand side of the seat base which control the temperature. You've got 3 levels for cooling and 3 levels for heating. I've used the cool setting quite a few times on warm days, and once you turn it to level 3, you can feel the effects of it almost immediately. As I said a second ago, the maximum setting does get quite loud though, but the sound is dampened quite a lot when you sit down and you block off some of the air that's coming out of the chair. The heating takes a little longer to get going, but it does warm up the seat base a very noticeable amount. The cooling system in the M6 Advanced is miles better than the one that I found in the Cougar chair that I reviewed last year. I was honestly surprised at how well this feature works. I've found myself using it regularly throughout the time that I've been testing this chair. But as I said at the start of the video, with the price being as high as it is, this chair's got to be great everywhere. So let's move on and look at everything else, starting with the design. The M6 is a very gaming orientated chair as far as looks go. The front and back of the headrest are adorned with some gold stitched AutoFull branding and then some pretty cringy logos. On the back there's a knight and another reminder that the chair is made by AutoFull as well as it being an esports chair. Then on the front there's another logo which I think is supposed to be an angel, maybe an angel of death or something. Either way, I'm not a fan of either of these logos, and they both look like the sort of thing you'd get if you asked AI to generate you an esports logo using the keywords cool and edgy. I'm not a fan of them at all. The finish on the M6 confused me quite a bit, to be honest. On the AutoFull website, the material is described as porous leather. And before I got the chair for review, I assumed that as it costs 800 quid at full price, that it was going to be genuine leather. Then I read the tag that was attached to the side of the chair, which clearly states PU leather, which isn't real leather, it's polyurethane, or plastic in layman's terms. So I emailed the brand to double check, and they confirmed that it is indeed PU and not leather. That doesn't sit well with me at all. Their website is kind of misleading, and for 800 quid, I expect real leather, and I definitely expect the details to be correct. Not that there's anything wrong with PU, but still, if it isn't leather, then that needs to be stated clearly on the product page. The chair is almost entirely black, aside from a pair of grey accent strips on the wings of the backrest. While most of the chair is finished in smooth PU, the adjustable lumbar support and the central section of the seat base are porous, or they've got holes in, which according to the AutoFull website makes it 3 degrees Celsius cooler than traditional leather. There's a pocket on the back of the backrest, mainly for storing the power bank which powers the heating and cooling that I mentioned in the previous section of the video, but there's nothing to stop you sticking some other stuff in there if you want to. I can't see why you'd do that, but it is there as an option. The shape of the chair is twofold. The top section has some pretty substantial and contoured side wings, for lack of a better term, while the seat base is almost flat. There are some side sections, but they protrude out much less than on some of the chairs I've looked at and used in the past. And for me anyway, it's a much better design choice, which leads to a more comfortable feeling on the backs of your legs when chair manufacturers go with a design that's like that. The lumbar support on the M6 chair is huge. It's independent from the main backrest and it can be locked in position along with having vertical adjustment, or it can be unlocked and you can have sort of dynamic positioned lumbar support. The 6D armrests have a few tricks up their sleeves. They adjust in every way that you'd want or need them to, up, down, in, out, forwards, backwards. They rotate by 70 degrees and then they can be set to have a 40-degree incline. Something which I've never seen on any chair before, and that incline works great when you use a controller or you play some games on your phone or you want to sit like this on your phone. There's a built-in footrest which folds away just underneath the seat base. It's a cushion attached to 2 extendable metal rods, and I'm going to talk more about that and all of the other adjustability and how comfortable the chair is in the next section of the video. Moving down to the base of the chair, the Class 4 gas lift can support up to 150 kilograms, which is another thing that isn't listed on their website. I had to email them to find out that limit. The website really needs updating to provide all of this information. This is an expensive product, so buyers should know or be given the information to make a more informed decision, so please update your website, AutoFull. The 5-spoke base is made from nylon, which was very disappointing to see on a chair that's this expensive. And then finally, the casters are made from a soft PU, which helps the chair glide quietly on my hard floor. They're decent, I can't find any faults with them, and they're just as good as any that I've looked at in the past. I've been using the M6 chair daily for just over 3 weeks now, and I've been pleasantly surprised by how comfortable and how sturdy it is. The backrest can be reclined up to 160 degrees, and it locks in place in a generous amount of points across that whole 160 degree range. It's missing any sort of tilt unlock though, so once you've locked it in place with the lever on the right hand side, you're stuck at that angle until you change it to a different one. AutoFull include a neck pillow in the box, but like I've said in the past, I find them pretty useless. Although this one, it is the best of a bad bunch. It's quite plump and it doesn't leave as much of a gap to my neck when compared to some chairs that I've looked at previously. The armrests are a highlight of this chair. They're great. They're made from a soft material which feels comfortable when you've got a short sleeved top on. I didn't think much of the incline feature before I actually tried it out, but it does make gaming with a controller while sitting at a desk much more comfortable, especially compared to when you rest your arms on the edge of the desk and the edge of the desk can dig into your forearms. Then to add on to that, they've got all the usual adjustments that you'd expect to find on decent quality armrests. The lumbar support's also good. The whole porous section on the lower portion of the backrest is adjustable with a lever and a knob found on the right hand side of the chair. When the silver lever is closed, the lumbar support is locked in one of 4 different positions, providing either a little support or much more support. I've found the first setting to be a good balance of being supported while still being able to sit back a bit in the chair. Rotating the dial moves the internals of the lumbar pad up and down so you can dial in a setting that suits the curvature of your back. The built-in footrest is a bit underwhelming. It's a bit narrow for me, although as you can all see, I'm quite a big bloke, so it'd probably be more suited to a smaller person and they'd find it a bit better than me. The M6 also has height adjustment via a lever under the right-hand side of the chair. The height of the seat base from the floor is adjustable between 42 to 50 centimetres. Now the chair has suited me quite well. It's handled my bulky frame with ease and I've found it quite comfortable whether gaming, working or just chilling out watching some YouTube. The seat base measures 51 centimeters wide by 51 centimeters deep. I'd love to have seen seat depth adjustability, as I've mentioned that about many chairs before, and I find it's an important adjustable action to get a chair really dialed in and make it comfortable for you. The backrest is 84 centimeters high and 51.5 centimeters wide. Again, it's easily suitable for bigger built people. And coming back to the lack of detail on the website though, mentioning that, I mentioned this earlier and I'm going to mention it again. There aren't any detailed specifications for the recommended height or weight for the user or customers or people that are looking at this chair. Something which, again, they need to add that stuff to the website. This is an expensive product. It needs adding. I'm just over 6 foot though, and I've had no issues using the chair daily for the past 3 weeks. Building the chair was a bit more involved than usual, but I still managed to get it done by myself, even with the absolutely ridiculously big instructions. Just put them on a leaflet with pages. I genuinely laughed when I first saw this massive piece of card. It's got a cringy esports poster on the other side, which I'm going to swiftly be putting in the bin after I've finished the review. The spokes had to be added to the 5-spoke base. They usually come pre-installed on chairs I've looked at before. And the armrests came in 3 separate pieces for each one. And the footrest has to be attached to the underside of the seat base. None of that's a bad thing. It's just a few more steps than a usual chair build. The overall build quality of the chair is mostly excellent. It feels sturdy and the seat is well padded. There are no creaks or noises when reclining and everything feels solid when you use this chair. I'd like to have seen metal used for the base, especially when you consider how much this thing costs. And the footrest feels more flimsy than I'd like. It moves up and down and I do have a few slight concerns over how it's going to hold up over the long run. The armrests do have a bit of side rattle, which is a common issue on almost every chair that I look at that's got a similar sort of design. To wrap things up then, this is a well-made and decent chair. The ventilation and heating feature are surprisingly good. The armrests are clever and they do genuinely provide some extra comfort when messing around on your phone and when gaming, especially with a controller. The seat base is well cushioned and comfortable and the adjustable lumbar support works well and is adjustable enough to get it suited to most people. The lack of seat depth adjustment and tilt rocking was disappointing, but underpinning all of that is the value. At full price, it's just way too expensive. 800 quid. I've looked at numerous chairs around the 300 to 500 quid mark before, and the M6 Advanced version is not twice as good as any of them, but it is twice as expensive as some of them. And that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like down below if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest PC gaming news and reviews. And go down below the video to check out links to our merch store, our Discord server, our Patreon page, and our website if you want to check any of that stuff out. Anyway, guys, I've been Matt. This that I'm sitting on has been the M6 Advanced chair from AutoFull. I will speak to you in the next one. Look after yourselves. See you later.